And welcome back. All right, so we are back with another session. So let's commence at the very beginning. Then last time, I feel like I want to ask people what they know, but at the same time, I know what some of the responses will be. So at the same time, the awkwardness, I'm just going to skip that. So last time, you guys were tasked with going to talk to someone through Jilly, a individual who heads a group called the Ivory Oath, and that person is a tiefling who appears to also be half elven, or I guess half elven, because if they're half tiefling, they're half elven. And For those of you who may be unfamiliar of what that means, tiefling is someone who has horns. They look a little bit devilish, if you want to describe it as such. And then a half elf is an elf who just has a little less elfin look about them, because they are someone who had an elf ancestor at some point in their lineage. All right. So with that all said and done, they tasked you with trying to get a special box out of another lord's place in town. And so when that was all brought up, the fact that the person revealed their face and that face turned out to be half elven sent Pree off, and off she ran. And so after that, I have 4 of you who agreed to go do the task, and Pree nowhere to be found, or somewhere to be found, but Pree will have to tell us all that in a minute. So, okay. So we'll come back to that momentarily. What I would like to know from the 4 of you, what are you now going to do? Are you going to aggressively just go off like chickens with your head cut off? You're going to actually plan things out before you do anything? What's the idea here?
I have a tendency to wait and find out what Rob's character's gonna do before I'm figure out what I'm gonna do. If Rob ends up being reasonable, usually I do, and if he doesn't, I'm like, well, if you're going down, I'll come down with you.
I mean, Rob's been half and half on that front so far. One half very reasonable, other half chases a helmet off into the middle of nowhere.
When he checks the door for traps, there's never any traps.
Nope.
Never.
Nope.
Never.
Even when there is. I mean, you now have someone who can actually officially check for traps, and maybe even find a few of them.
I'm still gonna go with Dimitri because I still think he's a rogue.
I'll look at Jilly and be like, so do we need like certain tools to break into places? I'll admit I have stolen things in the past, but mostly like pickpocketing. I've never really done a B&E.
Do we have any intel on like the house at all that we're going to?
Well, I don't know.
I mean,
I thought this was your job.
Yeah, you brought us here.
Oh, okay.
She's asking the DM out of concern. So, all right, here is the information that you were given: is that there is a lord who has a manor. In the manor, which has 3 floors. At the top of the manor is, as far as this person was aware, is a jeweled box which has an item in it, and they want both the box and the jewel. Basically, this is a test to see if you qualify as being able to actually be a member of the Oath, and thus, because of that particular information, you're going to have to figure out how to basically swing on your own.
Were we getting paid for this? I don't remember.
Yeah, do we like really want to be involved? Like, do we want to? Do we want to be in this thing? Because I don't remember being asked if I actually really want to be or not.
They did actually. They did ask, because the whole
they did?
Yeah, the whole point of this
that was like 3 weeks ago, John.
I'm aware. That's why I'm filling you in. Otherwise, I'd just be like, I don't know anything. No, the gist of it is that the Ivory Oath is a group that is trying to protect the continent from various types of bad people. They are working with different groups across the continent to try and figure out what's going on. And one of the groups they're trying to track down and understand is the pirates that seem to be off the coast in an island group not far away from the eastern edge of the continent. And so what they would like is for you guys to help with that. They have promised Jilly remuneration. She basically talked you guys into coming with her, and I don't remember if she promised you and what she promised you, so that would be up to Jilly to decide. So it's all back in your court.
Sorry, I was chewing some food.
Aha! Busted.
I know. Well, I thought they wanted to participate because the person had promised like money and then the option to go to the pirate islands, and Rob's character was really excited about that.
This is
Of
true.
course he
Right.
was.
And that's
I
why
remember the
Bee's
pirate
character
island,
agreed
yeah.
to go, because Bee's character was like, well, if Rob's character is going.
Yeah, I mean, you just screwed yourself over with what you said earlier, to be fair.
But Rob is like a meat shield there. I have thoughts about this. The reason I'm do this is because I'm like, well, if anything goes wrong, I'll just throw him in front of me.
I mean, isn't
Well,
that basically what Pree does too? But that's, I guess you don't know
No,
that
I
yet,
mean,
realistically.
Well, I
what
don't
I-
really know Pree because any opportunity I get to talk to Pree, they run away.
They do, it's true.
no, I see, and then I do that with Bart because I have literally shoved him into enemies.
Yeah, and shot lightning on my back while doing that.
Yeah, we had a discussion about that a couple days ago, in
Yeah,
fact.
I was actually gonna find a way to retaliate, but I thought better of it. But so you said that he was offering us payment in some way? Because I feel like that would be the only way to get Pree on
He's
board.
definitely
is if we
offering you payment in
pay
some
him.
way. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there was definitely pay involved. Basically, you would be aligned with this group, and as what they said is that whatever you do, they'll fund. So if you need something, they'll fund that. If you need some spending cash to go purchase items, they cover that. If you decide to get a house down in like the sea coast so you can be up against the ocean and have fun down there, they would cover that. Effectively, they become like
that
your
one.
your
I got that
sponsor. So
I want that.
yeah, of course you do.
I want to make that very. I want a house in the sea coast.
I want a house at the sea coast by the beach.
Sugar daddy.
Pretty much.
This is what we're being offered. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Cool. I'll do it. What do I have to do again?
so we're back to where we started from, which is y'all have to figure out how to steal this item from this lord's house in the other part of the city.
Okay.
They did give
Should
you
you-
a map of where it was.
Listen,
it's
Dimitri,
in
I
the
think we
city
can
though,
do
right?
this. I want a sugar daddy, Dimitri. Let's do it.
All right. Well, yeah. I mean, but we got to come up with a plan.
Do you think if we come up with a really good plan, they'll buy me an iPhone?
What?
I don't know what that is.
We don't know what an iPhone is
Sure.
in this world. It's a magical box that tells you
It's
things.
the leaf.
Yeah.
It's just
It's a
it's a scroll
an
of
apple on the
sending
end.
that
Yeah,
says
exactly.
iPhone.
I had an idea of like a
There's-
little stone with like magic mouth on it, basically, to talk to you,
Well,
like a
just
bad
set-
version of
just
Siri.
A square sending stone.
Yep. All right.
Okay.
so-
So we have to plan. We need a plan.
Is that you said this house was in this city, but in a
Yes.
different part of it? You said. Okay.
Yes, it's in the.
Why don't we
it's
just
in-
go look at that? Why don't we just go look at that house first?
That would be a good start. Flip a coin.
Oh boy.
Oh, you all said yes, right? I don't need to.
Okay. Well, fine.
Flip a coin as to whether or not we honor our decision.
You don't know.
You don't determine whether he flips a coin.
Flip a coin to determine if I can determine whether you flip a coin.
yeah. That won't get confusing
who-
at all.
This
Who
can
has-
get pretty,
who
this
has
can get
the
pretty
map right
deep
now?
pretty fast.
Jilly would have been given it because she was the one that they knew. So anything supply-wise, she has. But On this occasion, she just has the map because they're trusting you guys to figure out your own way in, your own way to supply yourselves. You got to prove yourself if you want to be a part of this group.
Okay.
Like, effectively, think of Kingsman if you've seen that movie. This is kind of like joining the
Which
Kingsman.
one?
The first one.
Okay.
I mean,
Dimitri.
the
I'm gonna
plot's
pull
still the
Dimitri
same
to a
idea.
side.
So
I don't know, John. If you start making me kill innocent-looking pets, I'm out.
I'm gonna pull Dimitri to a side and be like, have you considered the possibility that we steal the information for this away from this weird person we just met who we don't know if we can trust and carry this out and take the winnings for ourselves? Just throwing it out there.
I mean, we could, but I think she's our in. Like, if we came without her, I don't think they would give us anything.
Do you think she seems a little crazy though? Like a little.
He
I'm
looks at you
imagining
and
you
he looks
talking
at
very-
Bart, and then he looks at like a very distant Pree and says, "How? In what context?"
the vacant space that Pree was once in. Yes.
I don't know. I
Oh,
just get like a kind of vibe.
Do we know which direction Pree went?
That would be up to Pree, but as far as I know, she just left the room and then bolted out of the house. So I doubt you know anything.
Are we still in the room?
Unless you've told me otherwise, yeah, as far as I know. Which basically means this tiefling woman's still staring at y'all while you sit there.
We
talk
probably
about
should be like,
stealing
okay,
from her.
thank you. We'll see you later. Bye. We'll just back
But
out
discuss
slowly.
this elsewhere.
We can just go look at the house for now if you want.
If we're gonna do this, we need to lay some ground rules. The weird lady we just met, not leading us places. What if we end up in like creepy dungeon or something?
I was actually gonna say I was gonna say the exact opposite and say since this is her job, she leads the way.
Right. Okay. Middle ground. They could walk in the middle. I'll go at
We'll
the
walk
back.
all together, arm in arm, like it's the Yellow Brick Road. Don't be suspicious at all.
All skipping down the street. We're not doing anything weird. What do you mean?
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay, why don't we just go to the house?
Yeah. If we don't go, then Bart's gonna say it another time. Let's leave.
Okay, so you leave the place. You have a little map.
When you say a little map, like a map or like a little map the size of an elf?
No. Like you have a map to refer to where you're supposed to be going, basically. Only because Maisie doesn't even know anything about
It's
this
just
place.
a piece of paper with like a line drawn up on it.
Yeah. You can go
Follow
down
it.
here. I mean, you know, it's a little better than that. I'm going to put it that way. They have cartographers, you know.
He has updated our HUD with him.
Yes. Your quest has been updated, and now you have a new map has been unlocked.
Perfect.
So, with that being the case, I will inform you based on the city map that you see before you on the screen if you're in Roll20. At the north end and at the south end are some of the richer neighborhoods. This particular building is in the north end. And
So we'll go to the rich people's house.
Yeah. This is a manor house, not a little scooty booty.
Sorry, just a
hovel.
peasant over here in a normal house.
I know. Well, you know, the rest of y'all are. Some of you all are peasants.
I think we're pretty rich now, aren't we?
I mean, you are now, and I mean, you're being treated as very rich, to be fair, because you're hanging out for free at the big ritzy hotel.
Yeah,
you're at the Ritz-Carlton.
Home though, we're staying at a hotel. We're living out of our suitcases here.
Don't have a
Even
group
though we
name.
got
Don't
the
have
money.
a house.
Oh, well, that's right. I bought stuff, so I'm not as rich, but I'm decently equipped.
Bart's like, I have new weapon and new armor. That is all I need to survive.
Well, yeah.
And my coin. Sorry, I should correct.
Bart doesn't really care too much.
That's right. Bart is the antithesis of Astonis, who money was all he was worried about.
So I'm looking at the map. You didn't designate an actual building on the map as the building we're looking at, did you?
No, because basically I'm just going to tell you I haven't designated because there's nothing really to designate, and the audience doesn't really need to stare at a map that isn't very informative. But I'll put it this way, just for the benefit of you all, we're gonna say it's on the far northern part. So I will mark this for y'all.
Okay, yeah, I was just trying to see how close it is to the river and to the
Right.
walls, I guess. So
So
pretty
it's
much in the
closer.
middle.
It's closer to the walls, but it is
Okay.
north and in the middle of it all because it's a. I wouldn't say he's a minor noble, but like he's not important enough to be hanging out by the waterfront. You know what I mean? So with all of that, you four, I assume, make your way towards the house, unless I've been told otherwise.
Yes. We are.
Okay.
We're heading to the house. We're skipping. We're linked arms. We're singing about the map as we go. It's a great time. Nobody knows where the hell Pree
Bart's
is.
looking for Pree now instead. Like, I didn't flip. Like this is what happens when I don't flip a coin.
It all goes to chaos.
We could just pick up any mildly concerning, God-believing stranger off the street, and to be fair, would be pretty much equal to what Pree gives us anyway.
Wow, rude. To be fair, I can understand why you would think that because the last battle you fought was Pree running away from the whole thing at that
Well,
I've
moment
not
in
been here
time.
very long. My
That's true.
experiences
Yes,
so far
yes.
with Pree is hiding,
Hey,
running,
she
and
didn't
anger.
get knocked. She didn't get knocked down that time.
She didn't. That is true. That is true. Although I don't think she got knocked down in the skeleton battle either. So in all fairness, I think it's been a few whiles.
She's doing well.
Yeah. And now she has the highest hit points of you all. So.
Yeah, she could kill us.
Yeah. Yeah. Blood vengeance. All right. So as you guys move north and you go up the roads. So for those of you unfamiliar, the area of this city, which is a fairly large city for this period, so we're talking about 30 to 50,000 people basically, crowded into a walled city with a castle at the center where there's a wizard tower not far away and a major temples and things all sort of surround it. And then you have like the great Colosseum with all of its like games and races and all that kind of stuff. And then you have, which you all have tickets to, by the way, tomorrow. Just FYI.
Oh, right, we do.
Yeah, you do. So, yeah, you have to make some decisions on this front. And so the area that you guys are moving into, like I said, is a bit of an upper class quarter. It's closer to the protection from the military. It's safe from the riffraff, if we could put it that way, which are closer to the entrance gates. And as you wander up, you see the houses go from being very small, terraced housing in some extents to single family houses to bigger single family houses to these massive columned buildings with various limestone exteriors with massive rampant decoration everywhere, trees lining the amount of area they're on increases dramatically. So you go from where somebody might have for a back grass area like something the size of a bedroom to this thing being like half an acre sort of size depending on how big the place is. And each one of these has like its own little craziness, and it creates this obvious sense of where the wealth is in the community. And this particular lord lives in a building where as you get closer, you can kind of see. So what we will do is we will move to the map so I can show you what this building looks like. And I will show the audience as well at the same time. Okay. So, players, you should be seeing that now. All right. Everybody else, you should see it. Where is it? Right there. And it's still showing that map, even though it's been switched over. I don't know why it's showing that map. It must be because it's minimized, I'm guessing. There we
Oh,
go.
this is a big house.
Yeah. So
Where's the front door? Is it
uh,
here?
okay, so hang on 1 second. Yeah, so the front entrance is that area there. This is all yard. Sorry, I'm gonna make sure that the audience can see this properly because, okay, so I've zoomed in a little too much for their benefit. So yeah, that is the yard, and the surrounding buildings, like there's like an observatory / bird area, which is that circle on its own, and then there's like the front entrance, which is that semicircle, and then the main building is the rest of it behind that semicircle. You can see in the front there's like these pools, and at the center of the pools are these lights, which are kind of sparking, and they have magical effects. Basically, they're kind of prestidigitation silliness. So that's kind of what we're looking at. So that's kind of the building. The other thing I should say is you can see it's 3 stories high. And of course, like most buildings, it gets smaller as you go higher. Well, I shouldn't say most buildings, a lot of buildings.
Wait, you said 3 stories high?
Yes.
Okay. Do we have a general idea how most of these houses are laid out? Like kitchen on the first floor, living quarters, third floor, and whatnot?
I mean, what's your experience with fancy houses? None?
Well, yeah, I came from a small town. I was
Yeah,
gonna
exactly.
use my guard experience, but
Small
we got
town
like
sleeping on a
chefs.
floor in a little
I by
rural
choice, John.
village.
I slept on a floor by choice.
So, I mean, I guess it depends. Like, you can, if you want to roll for it to kind of figure it out, that's fine. I can tell you, usually, obviously, as most of you would know from just what little information you do have, typically sleeping quarters are put higher up to protect from the elements. And so you would hazard a guess they would not be on the main floor, but you wouldn't know if they're in the second floor or the third floor. And of course, unless you've been in a building like that, you wouldn't have any clue where it would be or what it was like.
Dimitri will say, well, it looks like the right side is our best entry point. The trees over there get really close to the house. It'd be the best side for sneaking in.
Did we see a lot of guards walking around or patrolling this area?
You see that there is definitely someone kind of wandering about. They have an animal with them. You're guessing it's a dog, but you're not getting like a fully patrolled, well-guarded, to use a modern equivalent, cameras everywhere sort of security. It doesn't look like they have that much money. I'm just going to put it that way.
Well, I think that they're right. The right side looks like a good entry point.
Do we see windows on that side?
Roll an investigation check, please. Un cinco. Actually, if you want, all of you can roll. Oh, well, never mind. Bart gets a natural 20.
I was gonna say I'm not good at investigation, but okay.
So for those of you watching at home, the green numbering, when it's green, that means he rolled a natural 20 on the dice roll. If it's red, he rolls a natural 1, regardless of what the numbers say. That is more important. So in this case, he automatically succeeds. So as you look around, you see that the windows are positioned around the grounds. Some are bigger than others, but most of the really big ones are up a bit. They're not like right at easily hop in level. A couple of them at the ground level near where you're at would probably be accessible to some of the taller members of the party, but some of the, shall we say, diminutive members of the party might find that more difficult to make. Because it's
Are they
about
open or
four
are
and a
there,
half
is there
feet
glass?
high.
Are they open or are there glass windows or is there a locking mechanism?
Well, you wouldn't know if there's a locking mechanism that you can see. I will say they're closed at the moment.
Okay.
So I guess now the question is, do you guys want to go and kind of plan this out and then come back, or do you want to take the risk of just doing this now? Do you feel confident enough to do this way, or do you want to go acquire some equipment that might actually help you?
I'm gonna look over at Jilly. What information do you have on the actual person who lives here?
Yeah, literally don't know anything.
Are they
For all
like,
we know, there could be a tiger-earning, sword-wielding maniac.
And
I received the same information you guys did.
yeah,
So
yeah,
all
you
we
all have
know
the same
is-
info.
so just a rich noble?
Yeah, and that the box is on the 3rd floor.
Okay.
Anyone see a big ladder? So we can just climb, get
But,
straight up to the 3rd floor. Have you considered the possibility of us just knocking on the door and seeing who answers? And then we could just, like, you know, to skirp out, we could just be like, I don't know.
Oh, I
we're
got
asking
an
a-
idea.
We could pretend to be asking a questionnaire.
Hey, Dimitri, you like performing shows and whatnot. Why don't you invite him to a show or something?
Ah, get him out of the
I mean,
house.
yeah, I could do that.
That would require us somewhat splitting the party, since you would, I would assume, have to actually perform something. Or
But,
unless
or
you
offer him our tickets for that thing tomorrow.
the gladiator match thing?
That thing. Give him theirs and we come back when he's not home.
Or maybe like if your name is because you perform fairly well, like you got like a standing ovation and whatnot that one time. So like maybe your name is popular enough where you can like, oh hey, I'll give you a performance. Let me in your house, and then you can.
Oh yeah, and then you can do a performance in the living room while we all.
I'll
Sneak
just
past.
say you go steal it because you're a thief, right?
Who's a thief?
A little bit.
He's a
Or are
little
you
bit of a
talking to
thief.
Jilly?
Wait, how
No,
are you gonna?
I'm-
How is he gonna be the thief and perform at the same time?
Yeah, no, he should perform, and then we can all
intermission?
sneak in the house.
So okay, yeah, all right. Are
Okay.
we
He's
your
the
bandmates?
distraction.
Are we your bandmates and like who don't actually perform but just stand there and look pretty?
Oh, we could hide behind a bush while he talks to them at the
Right,
door.
no, like he just goes in, and then we go around to like one of the windows and get in the house
Okay, cool.
while he's performing
well,
and distracting them.
is that what we
Loud.
wanted? Okay, is that what we want to do, or do we want to go think of something else?
No, that sounds like a good idea.
I don't know,
You
I
good
like
with that,
this plan.
Dimitri?
Yeah. Sounds perfect. I
did
see
you
no
bring
way
any
this could go wrong.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, I always have my flute, and he pulls his sword out because the flute is attached to is like the handle of his sword. And then I've got, actually, what else do I have?
Maybe don't get the flute out till after he invites you in. That looks a little bit threatening. Like, you want to hear a sure, but you got the sword up to his throat. Like, you don't really have a choice.
Looks like a flute is the only instrument I've got. I can play other things, but I just don't
Okay,
have them with me.
right. So you knock on the door and ask if the guy who lives here would like to blow on your flute, and then we'll.
You want to see my flute?
I don't like this plan anymore. Can we go back to Pree?
It's attached to my sword. It's even bigger.
oh no! Oh no!
Uh
Uh-huh. Yeah, you took it there. It's all your fault. All
I didn't
right.
mean to. I heard it after I said it.
All right. So again, I'm gonna ask this again just to be sure.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
I am not that sneaky, so how about I go and act as Dimitri's like porter who like carries carries the instruments, but you only have a flute, so I don't know if that.
Anything to get out of doing the actual job.
I wear heavy armor and I'm loud. I don't know if me sneaking around is good.
We can all be like the assistants.
With
And
a
he just
flute.
needs
And then you
multiple.
just all just vanish. in the
No,
middle of the forest.
I'll be like the bodyguard. Or I'll be the guy that has the hat that collects money.
When they ask us why does he need so many assistants, we'll just be like, we've all got individual jobs. Mine is remembering his name and address.
So,
He doesn't remember.
so let me get this straight. You're gonna go up to a rich person's house in the middle of the evening, knock on their
Oh, it's-
door. I'm just
It's the
clarifying.
evening.
It's the evening. Knock on their door. Say, "Hey, I'm a
Would
musician.
you like a flea
Would
flute
you like
shirt?
a performance in? Oh, and by the
No.
way, here's my hat. You can donate to. So
No,
they're
no, it's like one
busk
of
on
those.
their doorstep.
You know those like
Sounds like it'd be
those sweep
perfect.
those magazine
And my
like
whole
home
team come too.
those like
Yeah.
lottery winners that knock on your door
I-
with a
I'm-
big check.
I'm aware. I'm just saying, thinking about this in your head.
I think that Dimitri, should go and knock on the door, offer his services to perform,
Mm-hmm.
and then we sneak in through a window, like Jilly said.
Right. And if they decline the performance, then maybe he could offer the tickets. Like,
That-
okay, well, do you want?
And if they decline that too, then we go to the thing I said before.
Right. Yeah.
Or you
Yeah.
can say, "Have you heard about my Lord and Savior Bidwin and what she can offer you?" You know.
Also an option.
Have you heard the good news?
Yeah, exactly. The good news of Bidwin.
I feel like that
Uh,
gets a door slammed in your face. That doesn't get you an invitation in your house.
No, it probably would.
At this point, we've all been talking so much that I have knocked on the door, pushed Dimitri in front of it, and then ran away.
Pree, several blocks away, just has a sudden impending sense of doom
Mhm.
and starts
So-
walking away faster.
Speaking of all of this, while you're walking away faster, we're going to cut to you before we get to the actual door, because I still want to know if this actually is happening. So I'm going to give you guys a couple seconds to decide while we go talk to Pree. So Pree, you wandered away. Where are you headed?
Yeah. Anywhere's away from there.
Okay. So are you headed back to the hotel?
She has no destination in mind other than away.
Okay. I would like you to roll me a wisdom check, please. Because I don't know
Yes.
really what else to send you on a roll with at this point.
Wisdom.
The wisdom check comes back so bad that the large lack of wisdom leads them directly to us.
That's what I was just thinking. It's like, well, they just circle back. Okay, so not
Nope.
bad, not bad. That's
21.
good. That's good. So
That's
Pree
really
wanders
good.
wanders about. They travel for a couple of miles, basically. Eventually, after an aimless wander, you find that your feet, which are always good at directions, even when you're not necessarily paying attention, have walked you back to the hotel. Because effectively, your background is, you just know where you're going. So mentally, you might have checked out, but your entire body is not checked out. So I'm going to switch back to the other screen. So give me just half a sec. Okay. So you're wandering around, your body's kind of going, hey, it might be time to eat something, kind of hungry, blah, blah, blah. And it kind of drives you towards the closest thing that it knows is the pub, and that's the hotel.
Okay.
You have the option of wandering in or continuing wandering after that.
When she realizes where she's at, she just shakes her head, shrugs, and goes in.
Okay. All right.
They.
Yeah, you're doing it too now. So
I know.
I know it's terrible. So they wanders in. Pree wanders in, I should say. And as you wander in, the hustle and bustle of the pub, as it is, I'd say at this point, like kind of the 9 o'clock time of the hour. It's busy, but not like heaving. It's kind of middle of the week, so people are still at, they're not going to stay forever. So it's not going to be like an all-night drink fest, except for maybe a couple of people who are staying at the hotel. Typical groups are assembled. There is an empty table, kind of towards the back. I assume that's where you're probably going to head.
Yarp.
And one of the servers comes up and says, what'll it be?
Whatever you're serving.
Okay. So that server wanders back and goes and gets the special of the day, which in some pubs wouldn't be very good, but here it's always good. And while you await, you see off in the back corner a man with dark hair that sweeps all the way down to his shoulders. He has parted a little bit, but I mean it's an indistinct part. He has a big bushy beard that comes down his face and covers like down below his neckline, and he is armored in semi-plate, so it's partially plate, partially chainmail, and you can see his designations and especially his holy symbol is the same as the god that you're following. As he looks up and sees you, he stands up, bringing with him his cup, wanders over, says, "Master?"
No.
And he sits down.
No. She stands up.
He puts his hand sort of out forward, kind of like that, and he says, "Wait. I have something to give you. It is not from... It's from someone you know, and not someone you don't like."
That list is non-existent.
As far as I know, it was only ever 2.
Fine. She'll sit back down.
And he
They'll sit back down. God damn.
He crosses his
Anyway.
arms, looks at you, and says, "So, how long are you going to wander for this time?"
Long as I please.
"Yeah, I've kind of noticed."
Not like I got a shortage of time.
Or care, or concern.
Just like look at him with just this steely look.
He is basically glaring back with a very familiar look that looks pretty similar to your own at the moment. You realize looking at him... Actually, can you do a perception check for me, please? I should actually make you roll for this.
Yikes. 5.
Oh, that's great. I love
I
it.
rolled a 1.
She rolled a nat 1. All right. So, yeah, I mean, you're just irritated at this point. So you're just putting up with whatever this person is saying. You're not really paying attention or looking at them closely. And he looks at you again with that stern expression on his face. And he says, "You know, it's unfortunate for someone who felt abandoned to do similar."
I've abandoned no one.
"Is that so, Mother?" And he pulls out
What?
a rock and sets it in front
No.
of you.
No. No. Uh-uh. No. No. Why? Why, John? Why?
Backstory. Give me a backstory. You're going to get it.
I gave you a 2-page backstory.
I know. And this is one of the parts of that backstory.
I don't remember that, but okay.
Yeah, that's fine. You even gave them names, so I have both of their names, too.
I don't remember writing that. Damn it. All right, go on.
So he puts the rock on the table. Says, "I know you don't listen to anyone else. He gave it to me to give to you. I have not wanted to. I really don't give a concern about you or what you've done. The hypocrisy of the things you've said and done in the past is your own business at this point. You didn't raise me. You didn't look after me. You abandoned me, which apparently is something that you were upset about enough that you've been angry at your mother for these years, my grandmother.
I didn't abandon you. I left you where you'd be good.
No, you walked away because it was too difficult to do it on your own.
I didn't want kids.
Yeah, I can tell.
So why are you here?
Because I was told by your father to give you this. And I have
Would
spent
you
the
know my
last
father?
20 years debating on whether I should. How do I know your father? Well, that's a good question. Your father, along with
Which one?
both of them, actually, found out about us before they passed. And they came and visited. They told us about our mother.
How?
I don't fully know. But thanks to them,
Gods. Damn gods.
I know who you are. I don't want to have any more dealings with you than apparently you want to have with me. And
Well, that's good.
My sister isn't here either, otherwise she'd be sobbing about this, but I don't care. I follow our God because it honors the men who I honor, which apparently is what you do.
Apparently they sucked you in too. Wonderful.
And he
Have fun with that.
He lifts up the hair, and you can see his ears are not doxed. And he says, I'm sure they'll tell you a lot of things, and that'll be up to you to deal with. If you need to contact me, you can find me in Springguard. And he says, otherwise, mother, good day. He stands up and immediately walks away, leaving the rock on the table, and basically beelines out the door.
As he leaves, she'll grab the rock and slam it on the table. I'm no one's mother.
The entire moment he stands at the edge of the doorway, you kind of see him gripping like a fist, but it's like down at his hip, and you hear in your head, yes, I have been made aware. And he disappears.
Good.
If you'll do nothing, at least command the rock.
She'll roll it around on the table for a minute. Toss it up and just shove it in a pocket.
Okay.
And then wait for her dinner. Wait
All
for
right.
their dinner.
You see
Whatever,
someone
at this point.
standing there looking at you with the dinner and looking very awkward at that whole conversation. Like, you know, when you walk into a room where people are arguing and you're like, I didn't want to be here. I didn't want to do this. Why am I here? And she just carefully places everything in front of you and goes, if you need anything, let me know.
She'll pull a gold coin from her. They'll pull a gold coin from their bag and flick it at the serving girl.
And immediately she goes, "Koosh," and grabs it out of the midair and says, thank you, and wanders away.
And then Pree will eat.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, while Pree's eating, yeah,
Back to us and I'm playing
I like how-
with flute.
Yeah, we're having this weird discussion about blowing flutes, and she meets her kids for like the first time. Such a big difference.
I'm just like
I'm
stood with Dimitri like playing his flute.
And John, you missed it
This
up.
is
You're
nice.
supposed
I
to,
like it.
why didn't you yell at the phrase? You should have been like, I said good day, and then slam the door and walk.
I said good day. No, he's too mad. He's angry. Our tourist is
think
not
I would be.
not happy. What's that,
Okay.
Spara? You're muted.
One big angry family.
Oh yeah. They've all got
Apparently
they've all got
bigger than we all
parental
thought.
issues. I wonder why. Um,
Can't say I'm surprised.
no, me neither. I just like the fact that came up to haunt you because that's awesome. You wrote it in your own backstory. I had nothing to do with that. All right. So with all that said and done, back to the mansion we go. So, all right, let's go back to the map screen, shall we?
All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and all right, I'm gonna go ahead and go underneath this window. Dimitri, you go give us a sign
I
when
already knocked on the door. The guy's coming.
we weren't at the gate though, right? I thought we were. Where were we? Were we just standing
I
in
ran
front of the
in,
door?
dragged Dimitri to the door, pushed him
okay.
into it, knocked, and then ran away.
Okay, if that happened, I'm walking away towards the side to go under the window.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'll follow him.
All right. So I would like you all to make whatever, either investigation or perception check, because remember there is a guy walking the grounds. And
Well,
then stealth
Oh,
checks.
okay. That's not what I thought.
Okay. When you're done that, roll a stealth check for me, you three. Wow, holy cow. I like how the person who should be the best at this is like the worst. Okay. Cool.
It's okay. We can always leave anyone that gets caught
I
behind.
mean, Dimitri doesn't have to do a stealth check, but he can do the perception check, yeah.
Yeah, I figured.
Right. Nilawa, you, the rest of them are like very quiet. They avoid everything, and you are walking with
I'm
them
just
under
like
the
crunching
trees.
the leaves.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're wandering
like,
under the
"Yeah."
trees, and all of a sudden you hear this crack as you step on this little branch, and
You
it
just hear me go, "Off."
carries. Yup. I should probably roll for that myself. All right, one moment. So give me half a second to see whether or not they notice, because that would be good to know. Okay. Yeah. All right. So this person.
With my 23, would I have heard the snap of the twig?
Oh yeah. Heck yeah.
I will immediately knock louder on the door. Like,
Bum, bum, bum.
hey, anyone home? Just trying to get this
Okay.
person's attention.
Does the guy hear me?
All right. He definitely did hear something, and you guys will now have to figure out what you're gonna do, because
I'll
there's
talk to him.
Okay.
Cover for my friends.
To be
You guys
fair-
run in, I'll talk to the guy.
I don't talk to him, and I keep going.
Okay. So to be fair to you, remember you are a druid and you do have wild shape. In other words, you could change into something else so you don't look like what you are.
I feel like I can, but I feel. But here's the thing. Here's my thought process, right?
Yeah.
Dimitri's about to distract the person who's coming to the door, so that they
Mhm.
can climb inside. They
Mhm.
have a guard on the outside who
Yep.
could get suspicious. But if I'm distracting him, another person who isn't going to be paying attention.
Fair. Okay.
So I feel like I could have a little chat with him, a little chat. I'm signing them to keep going, them to get inside.
Okay.
Oh,
And
he
then
never. Bart
Is the
never
guy
stopped.
approaching me?
So Bart is hugging the wall by the window, I assume.
Yeah.
So okay.
Where's my character place thingy, so I can know where I am?
You can put yourself on the board wherever you want to be positioned. Dimitri,
How
of
do I
course,
do
is
that?
by the front door. Just grab him off the right-hand side and just drag him onto the screen. If you can't do that, I can do it for you. But you'd probably
I may just
you'd
be being dumb.
You what? You're
I
making
might just be being dumb.
It's not
Somebody-
letting me do it either. So
You're here on the thing.
Okay, I
Oh.
will.
Was I? Did I do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
There
you
go,
have to
Bart.
grab the name, not the picture.
Yeah,
Right. Okay, so I guess I'm stood here. I just cracked a little twig.
there. I threw
I'm like,
Maisie
"Oh."
on board too. Okay,
Thank you.
so Bart, as far as I knew, you guys were going. I thought you were going. Sorry, I'm just gonna move you for a second over here. Is that not right? Is that where you're headed?
what? I thought
I
that
thought we were
the
going around the
window was
left of the
I thought the
house
window was
last
over
time.
here.
Oh, I thought you were going to the like to this area of the building. So I didn't realize you were going over there. That's fine. I mean, I just
That's
didn't know
fine.
that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was trying to get it as close to the window and as far away as like this area as possible, since there's a lot of trees for cover here.
Fair enough. Okay.
Okay.
So as you're doing that, Dimitri, you'll notice that this guy who is walking the dog comes around the corner and looks up and notices you specifically. And he's going, "Hey, what are you doing beyond the wall?"
Oh, it kind of points back. The gate was unlocked and no one was over there, so kind of came up to the house.
The gate was definitely locked, but okay, vagabond, what do you want?
Vagabond straightens up and like brushes his coat. I'm here as a representative of the Veilguard Orchestra. They are soliciting donations. I'm here to play and pull out his flute. Some beautiful music for the homeowners while they dine, in hopes of getting donations for the city orchestra.
He walks closer. The dog is sniffing around and kind of whining at his feet. And he's like, "I didn't know that the orchestra needed donations these days. I thought the king gave them enough money that they didn't need that kind of thing."
Well, the city orchestra was very impressed by the visiting one, led by what was his name?
I'm seeing cracks. Cracks are forming.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Nam.
Okay. Mhm.
The visiting orchestra that was led by Nam, they had much more impressive instruments, and they want to redo the hall. And I kind of just shrugged. Look, man, I don't know. I was just told to see if I could get donations from some of the rich people in this town. I'm one of the best players, so they sent me out. To play
Do
music
it.
for people.
Okay, so with all of this said and done, do a deception check, because my goodness.
Okay. Deception. 15.
Okay. He nods as you're talking and kind of goes, "Yeah, it sounds like something those prissy so-and-sos would do." And he says, "Look, Lord Yanners is not predisposed to musical people. In fact, the last entertainment we had here, he throttled him.
Bloody hell.
So because he read the poem very poorly, so I don't honestly think he's gonna have a lot of interest. But and he opens up his purse and pulls out a about 5 silver, and he says, "Here, if this will help, take this."
Oh, that's really generous. He'll he'll take the silver. He'll glance at the door and say, "Is the Lord here alone?"
I mean, if by alone you mean with his family and guards, yes, he's very alone.
I'm gonna look over at
Well-
Jilly and be like, I don't know if you can hear, but I don't think it's going well.
But what I mean is, would any of his family enjoy music?
I mean, I'm sure his wife would, but I don't think you're going to get her down here. The lady of the house is kind of under the thumb, shall we say. So, yeah.
What floor would she happen to be on?
You're not there. You can't ask that. Would there be a particular area?
I mean, he glances around. I do provide other forms of entertainment if you think anyone would be interested. Anything for donations. That's what they told me.
I
He
mean,
can cook, John. He can cook.
I'm sure there might be interest for that in other parts of the city, but yeah, not here. Certainly not directly. You know.
I'm gonna look over at Jilly again and be like, "Do you think it's going well? I don't think it's going well."
Yeah, I shake my head.
I just like, right, listen, plan B, and I just start crunching all the sticks on the floor. I'm just stepping around, like,
Oh.
run, Jilly, run, go with Bat, go, and I'm just crunching the sticks.
Oh
to
no.
try and get the guy's attention.
Oh boy.
It's like, what's
So,
going on?
Do I hear the crunches now?
I mean, if you're standing by the window, you're watching, I assume, trying to get them to come over to you, I would assume.
And I'm just doing
So
like a little
I'm just
jig.
looking at her stomping leaves.
And sticks and everything and making as much.
And I'm yelling.
Probably should have discussed a signal.
I am actioning to Jilly. Go to Bat. Because we clearly need a different distraction.
Go to what?
Go towards
Bat.
Bart.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yep.
It wasn't just like a British word for the back of the house.
Yeah. Go around back.
You never know.
I mean,
My
so-
new thought process is I distract this guy long enough for Dimitri to bang on the door and get the owner's attention.
I mean,
Yeah,
I already was, and he hasn't come, so I don't know that that's gonna help.
Bang harder.
I'm trying. He's not interested in that either.
I mean, he's-
Climb in the window and start
So-
playing flute.
all
Serenade.
right. So while are you like? See, I have this image now of Dimitri is now trying everything, including like putting his hands up and trying to distract
Meanwhile,
this guy.
I've pulled my skirt and my bloomers up, and I'm just crunching the leaves like a butter check, like somebody stepping on grapes.
Oh, chaos! It is a lovely thing.
So do I see Jilly running towards me or something?
I don't know, what is Jilly doing? I see mostly like Jilly was standing there like in awe
Yeah,
of
I've
the
been
ineptitude.
actioning to Jilly for a while. They don't seem to have moved.
Jilly, what are you doing?
I don't
Sorry,
think
my-
Jilly
my
knows what she's
toddler.
doing.
I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I go and nudge Bart. Be like,
Okay, if she comes near me, like, what's going on? Why is she dancing?
I just kind of like signal like that, like this is a failed plan, and we're gonna run now.
Okay, I'm just gonna leave. I'm not staying here. Then, is there like a back exit here, John, that I could just like walk, or is it completely walled off?
How do we all?
I mean, it's walled off, so yeah, there's not really a
Such crap.
back entrance, but you can like run through
You
the
don't need
trees
to
and try
run
and...
yet. The guy hasn't even come over to me. He might not even know I'm there. He's still stood just watching Dimitri doing jigs on the doorstep.
All right, that's fair. Okay, I'm just gonna wait here for a little bit then.
I'm just like really crunching at this point. Like
I mean,
I don't see how this is gonna work out.
I
but
don't
that's-
know. I'm wondering this too. I'm actually wondering what
Listen, I
Dimitri's
have
doing as
thought
all of this is
processes.
going on.
Yeah, what are you doing? You pulling on your pants or what? What are you doing?
Oh no! Oh no!
No, I mean, he's just once he hears the crunching, he's kind of like looking over there, like, what are they doing?
he just looks over and sees this woman just jigging in the leaves.
Okay,
just
well,
going like this.
while
actioning him.
while that's going on, Bart, you see lights and a race car above
Sorry,
you.
by the
That's
window.
me. I'm making
That's
that
fair,
noise to get
yeah.
the guy over. I'm
Uh,
like going.
Yeah.
while I'm digging.
At the window above you, a light kind of comes closer to it, and you hear the noise of somebody pulling it open as if they're about to look around to see what's going on.
We'll quickly walk away to the side then.
Stealth check.
It's just chaos at this point. People are
I
running
mean,
around. Dimitri's dancing. I'm jigging in the grass.
Of course.
Mhm.
Julie, do
It
you want to do a
has be
stealth check,
balanced, John.
please?
It has to be balanced, John. One crit for one crit.
Yep.
Wait,
Oh,
you want to?
I want you to roll a stealth check, please, because people are looking around. Okay, so Jilly stealths away. As she does, Bart's chainmail suddenly decides to start rattling, and he hears a giggle in the back of his head as he trips and falls and lands face first into the dirt. And you hear a voice, a female voice, shouting, "What's going on down there?"
At this point, do I hear the voice?
Oh, yeah. That was pretty loud.
Okay, at this point, I'm just looking behind me while still jigging.
Dimitri, you also hear that voice. It's a little farther away, but you definitely hear it, as does the guy standing with you. And he's like, "Oh no, the lady. Out of my way. Go out of here. Get lost. Go away." And
okay.
he looks down at the dog and says, "Get him." And the dog takes off towards...
It's got to go through me first, right?
Yeah, it's going straight at you.
I'm good with animals. Is there something I can run so that to play with the dog? I roll.
I mean,
animal handling?
yeah, you can try animal handling. It's going to be a high DC, just saying.
Oh, jeez.
That definitely didn't do it. So, I mean, appropriately enough, the dog is just beelining straight at you. You're dancing a jig. You see it. You go, "Hey, puppy, how you doing?" Bam! And it plasters into you. Dimitri?
Is it too late to turn into something else now?
I will give you the opportunity to see it coming and realize it ain't slowing down and change into something. So while Dimitri decides what he's doing, and before we get into an actual turn,
I'm gonna turn into. I don't think turning into a lizard's gonna help. I'll turn into a deer.
Now that the dog has gone, I'm gonna cast sleep on this guy. Try and put him to sleep.
Okay. How do they not have a straight up dog? That's just silly.
I hate the sleep spell. Like, it's supposed to be good, but the way they changed it, it never works.
Well, 32. So if he
Well,
has
okay,
less
fine.
if he has less than 32 HP, he falls asleep.
I mean, yeah, he definitely does. So you hit him with that as he's kind of grousing at you. You hit him. He sees you. So describe to me how this spell works. Is it verbal, semantic? What's it going on?
Let me see.
You sing him a lullaby.
Yeah, it's verbal and somatic. So he's got to move his hands and say words.
Okay, so he sees you kind of doing a lullaby effectively and going, "Good night, go to sleep." And he's just like, "What the?" And then he falls over asleep.
Wait, just to clarify, who's asleep, the dog or the person?
The person, not the dog.
Person.
Oh, so the dog's still running at me and I've turned into a big deer.
Yep. You have turned into a big deer.
That's what the noise I think it makes when I turn into a deer.
So, Jilly, I assume you were over with Bart, who's...
Yeah, can I help him up?
I mean, you can. You might need to do another stealth roll to avoid being detected. Meantime, in the background, this DC is not as hard because, yeah, you passed. Because the dog just... And now that it sees a deer, I'm going to tell you right now, the dog is not any less entranced to try and catch you. Just going to point this out.
He wants the deer?
It's a dog.
So the deer starts running. The deer's running and running. I'm running over to Julian.
I think you would have been better off as a lizard, honestly.
I was thinking more along the lines of the red squirrel type thing. Might have been good.
I thought maybe another dog.
I'm panicked in this situation. There's a dog flying at me. I went for whatever was the closest to being dog-like.
I can tell you panicked because bluntly,
that's closest to being dog-like.
You were jumping up and down in the trees.
God. I have the option for a wolf. Why didn't I go wolf?
Then you could have been his buddy.
I'm just literally a deer. I'm obviously gonna run up.
You're
to
literally
Jilly
a deer in the headlights in every way, shape, and form.
No,
I would assume,
run
Jilly is confused because they've never seen me transform before. So there's just a deer nuzzling up to Jilly right now after running.
Oh, I saw you transform at the pub.
Oh, into a deer? Do you know I can
camel.
do deers?
Into a camel.
Okay,
So I
camel's a
mean,
camel though. You don't know the deer.
well, I mean, I'm
But
sure
I-
she's
Well, I'm
familiar with
nuzzling
a
to warn
druid.
you.
Just saying.
To be fair, there will be a rat on my back. That's how you know. Because the rat lives on my shoulder, and just no one's ever asked me what his name is yet, because everyone's rude.
Well, I
so
mean,
can I keep running?
sure, yeah.
So
Okay.
she helped me up. I'm gonna be like, no, this is not working. So I'm gonna keep running this way.
How heavy would you say Jilly is?
She is like like imagine like a 10-year-old, that kind of.
So I can flick Jilly onto my back and start running.
Okay. Roll me an athletics check, both of you.
Wait.
This-
Okay, there it is.
This should
It's
be-
not really
oh
going well.
yeah,
Oh, it's really
Jilly's
not going
perfect.
well.
So you try and
just like,
flip her up. She falls onto your back and off your back and onto the ground. The wolf is getting closer.
And I'm
There's
just
a
like,
wolf
oh
now?
crap.
It's a dog.
Okay, the
Would it
dog.
help
Sorry,
if I run
I've been
back
calling it a wolf
towards the
because I
dog?
couldn't find a dog, so I chose a wolf. So that's why I've been.
Would it
calling
help if I run back towards the dog and get it to chase me back to the front away from Jilly? Because surely I run fast. I'm a deer. I surely run faster than a 10-year-old.
And a dog. I mean, she doesn't run like a 10-year-old. She runs like a human, but it's just like she's kind of that.
Are you saying that 10-year-olds are not human, John?
No, but they're not necessarily faster than most
A
adults. How about
human
that?
adult.
In the meantime,
Uh-huh.
after I got to sleep, I'm
So
gonna
I
walk
run
around
back.
to the other side of the house where they're not.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming
I'm-
there's a door here because there's a walkway to the gazebo. So I'm gonna see if
Mm.
I can pick that door, get inside.
Oh boy. So now
Do I
Bart's
see Dimitri?
moving that way too. Okay, so let me just move this. What a interesting performance this is.
We have our methods, John.
Yes, your methods. That's definitely what it could be called. So, and there's no like thought process to say, hey, maybe I could just act like the deer and confuse me. And no, anyway. Okay, so you come around the corner, I assume, to get away from the nonsense. You roll me a
And then I see
perception
Dimitri?
check, Bart, because he is on the other side of the building. So unless you walked all the way around, you wouldn't necessarily see him. Okay, with a 14, I'm going to say you kind of got the impression that's where he had gone. You kind of notice him there, so sure.
If when I see him, I'm gonna whisper, "What the hell happened?"
He shrugs. They weren't interested in music.
Why did she start dancing?
I
Why
have
did
no
Squirrel
idea.
Girl start dancing?
I like how you're asking him like he'd know.
Yeah.
And I ran back
thought of the
away.
or something like they were signaling each other. Okay,
When I
He
ran
shakes
back
his
away,
head.
did the dog follow me?
okay. There's a dog chasing her. I think she turned into a deer. No idea where the new girl went. Can you open this door? I gave you lockpicks. Please, can
Yeah.
you open this door?
I'm trying. 12.
A 12, huh?
Come on, Poochie. Come on, Poochie.
Um,
I'm
deers.
trying to get the dog to chase me back to the front of the house.
You're
instead of
saying, come on,
chasing me.
Poochie, but it's a deer, so it's like.
I'm just like, whoa.
Yeah, exactly.
But surely
I
the
mean-
dog would be more likely to chase me than Jilly, though.
If
So,
Bart is assisting me, can I get advantage? And it's a 24.
Wait,
Like, hold the
advantage
light.
on picking a lock? How can I help
Yeah.
you pick a lock?
You can hold the flashlight. And
the flashlight, the globe, the orb, which neither of you have.
I have an orb. It doesn't do anything.
No,
that's
no, not that. I mean, you haven't talked to that orb in a bit.
I talked to him at the maid school. He told me not to talk to him. So
I mean, fair.
Yeah, he's like, don't talk to me right now.
Can I give him words of encouragement to give him
He's
advantage?
just whispering in his ear, you're the best, you're great,
I'm
you're amazing.
honestly, I'm not sure how you can help him because you know nothing, and your encouragement doesn't mean a lot. I'm gonna say.
Just like right in Dimitri's ear, like right up to
So,
his ear.
so unless you've got some mechanic to help him, I'm gonna say no.
Fine. I don't have.
Flip a coin.
Don't see that how that's gonna help.
No,
Yeah.
no, not that
Like,
either.
I mean, it says
Sorry,
yes.
no. You rolled
Okay,
a
so-
12. It didn't
all right.
work. You didn't break
Should-
anything.
Should we bail?
Dag nubbit.
I
Should we?
don't fail.
Should we leave? Not that.
Not
Should we
fail.
leave?
hypothetical
How are we
question.
gonna get this thing if we leave?
We can come back later. It's obviously not working.
Hypothetical
Come back
question.
later.
How
I don't-
strong am I as a deer, and am I capable of running and jumping through the glass window?
Question.
Like, if I literally just
okay.
bumped head
All
first
right.
into the
Do you
So-
need more? Do you need more time to pick this lock, or what? Is that would that help?
Yeah,
I'm-
I could try again. It takes a
I-
little bit.
Yeah. Okay. So while you're deciding all that, we're gonna bring in a turn timer because now we're getting into it's you versus the wolf, the dog. Sorry, I keep wanting to say wolf.
Can I ask a clarifying question?
Sure.
So, like, I know that I tried to get on their back and I failed. So, like, am I just like laying on the ground?
As the dog is coming closer, yeah.
Okay,
Play
I'd like
dead
to stand
flat
up,
out in the
please.
bush. Yeah. Well, listen. Jilly's
So-
gonna learn a lesson here that our methods of doing things may seem like madness, but in the end, we get
They're
there.
terrible. Yeah, they may seem like madness, and they're terrible.
We are not trained for this.
I feel like somewhere Pree is acting and like sitting exactly as how Tamara is sitting right now,
To be
just like
fair, John, the people in our group would know I'm not trained for this if any single one of them had bothered to ask anything about who I am or my
I
background.
mean, yeah. I mean, they didn't ask your name for a good 2 sessions.
Literally,
So,
we
yeah.
recorded like 6 hours before anybody.
I mean,
even
you
asked what my
were
name
known as Squirrel Girl for most of that, so
you're
you
still
know.
known as Squirrel
Ah,
I would
Girl.
say Bart still called her Squirrel Girl.
Yeah, I don't think I actually heard your name. That's why.
Oh my Jesus. Well, you can't
okay.
hear it now. I'm at the other side of the house, and I'm a
Alright,
deer.
so
You're gonna have to ask later.
Dimitri, I'm gonna go stall. You try again, then, and then I'll start going back this direction towards the wolf.
Well, I think we're doing turn order.
We're about to
We're
do a
doing
turn
turns
order.
right now. Yeah,
Okay.
roll initiative, please.
Everyone.
Yep. Okay, so I'm just gonna write this down because honestly,
Where is the initiative?
At the top right to your right of your armor class.
make sure you add
Oh,
yourself to the turn order. Yeah, there you go. Okay.
How do I?
Yeah.
I don't know what to do.
If you've got your character open, it says your armor class, then initiative's right next to it. You just click it. I didn't have to do anything else. Just press that. And it adds
I
it to it.
clicked that and it said.
You have to
Oh,
click
you
your
have to
character
select
first.
your character first
Right,
on
yeah.
the board. Click on your character and then roll it. And it'll
Oh.
put you in the turn order.
Okay, so if you just want to, here, I'll just add you to the turn order, or you got it already. Never mind.
Choose there, yeah.
Okay, cool. All right.
Well, that was a good roll.
Yeah, it was a good roll. All right, so the wolf goes at the same time as Dimitri and Bart do. So, Jilly, it is your turn. You are laying on the floor, or on the
In the
on the
leaves.
dirt, in the leaves and grass, with a wolf charging towards you. He will get you this turn, no matter what you do. You can stand up
what I
as an
do.
action, and you can move half movement.
All right.
Nothing
Or,
to see
sorry.
first.
Stand up and start moving towards the back of the house.
Okay. So, what is your normal movement speed? It should say
25.
25. Okay, so you can move half of that, and each square is 5. So, let's just for argument's sake say you can move 3 squares.
Okay. So, like there.
Sure. Okay.
You really made the distance between you and the dog.
Yeah, you guys
Well, are you running towards the dog? So I'm just kind of hoping that.
Sure.
I mean, I'm
Okay.
behind it going, oh, trying to get its attention. So.
Bart and then Dimitri.
Okay, I'm gonna move towards the dog. And
Okay, so you're gonna move the other way from where you are. Yeah.
That's 6, and I can do a double move since I can't do any actions.
Oh, that's true. By the way, Jilly, you could do a double move. Can you?
No,
do that?
she was-
No,
she
you
was
can't,
laying on the
'cause she had to
ground,
get
right?
up.
So
yeah, that's right.
yeah.
Sorry, when you're prone,
Yeah,
that takes that away.
You still can do a double move.
Oh, you can still do a
You
double
can
move
use your
so
action to move again. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because it takes half her movement speed to
to
stand
get up. Right.
and then she has the other half of her movement speed. But then she can use her action to run, which is another. She can move with her movement again.
Yeah. So you can move 25.
So 5 more squares for you.
Yep. for Jilly.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Is it an action for me to take out one of my lances?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, that's fine. Then that's my complete action.
I mean,
and
the
my
good
turn.
news is you're going to be able to see what happens, so there's the advantage to that. Okay, Dimitri, your turn.
Okay, try to unlock the door again.
Get away. Well, that definitely pop, and the door goes squeak, quietly open.
Gonna use my movement speed to slow or violently step inside.
Okay, we'll come back to you in a second. And, right. So now, Jilly. Here comes the doggy. Let's see here. How fast can he move? Because that will determine whether he can actually attack this turn or not. Oh, how long does that sleep spell last?
1 minute, so 10 rounds.
Okay,
combat.
so he's not quite back up yet, but you haven't got long. Okay, 40. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right.
Oh, you're gonna have a real nasty bite coming your way.
So yeah, the wolf is there. He made it. So he didn't have to use both of his movements to get there. So because of that, he is going to launch a bite attack. So he leaps at you, trying to bite you. So you will have the attack, which does a 14 hit your armor class.
My armor class is 15.
So that's a move, barely no. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you roll me a strength check? Oh, okay. Well, that worked well. So he jumps into you and tries to bowl you over and bite you, but yeah, he basically bounds off of you somehow. He apparently thought you were a child instead of an actual adult, and was taken aback. All right. Our druid in the deer form. Your turn.
Hello. Does it take my action? Remind me if I change into something else.
I believe it does.
It's a bonus action.
Oh, it's a bonus action.
To change form.
Okay. What do I get again? An
But-
action and a bonus action.
But the only thing is because you can, I think you can only change form twice between rests, so you won't be able to do it again after this.
Yeah. So
Okay.
whatever you
I
change
was just
into now.
questioning
Is...
anyway, so I'm not changing to anything just yet anyway. My movement speed is 50, so how many squares can I move?
So
10.
you can move 10 squares.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. And then
So move your
10
character
feet is
wherever
how
you're
many
going.
squares?
2.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to be 1 square short. Are you kidding? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'd end up here, right?
You can get right here.
I can?
Yeah, you can move diagonally and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I wasn't counting diagonally.
I didn't know that
Okay.
either.
So moving, is that my action?
So question.
No, that's a move.
No, that's just a movement. It's not an action.
Okay. So you know how I have cantrips? What are those again?
Can you cast spells while you're in druid wild shape? I don't think you can.
You
Can
cannot. No.
Yeah.
No, but I'm asking for future reference.
There are
Can...
spells that don't take spell slots. Basically.
Yeah.
They're like low-level spells that you can cast at any time without problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then for my action or bonus action or whatever at this point, I'm going to turn back into me because clearly deer is useless right now.
No.
So that's my what is that? I turn back
It's a
into
bonus
me.
action. To
So do I
change
have
shape.
left?
A regular action.
Just a regular
And that-
action.
And that can be a spell.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
A cantrip.
Okay, so I
For
want to
sure.
use my poison spray cantrip.
Okay. What is the area that it affects? Because that
It has,
will...
but the person has to be with the thing has to be within a range of 10 feet.
Okay, and is it just one creature for target?
It says you extend your hand toward a creature you can
Okay.
see within range and project a puff of noxious gas from your palm. The creature must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or take 1d12 poison damage.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, I'm gonna do it.
All right.
How
You
you
do
do
it. So
he's got to roll a Constitution save, otherwise he takes 10 poison damage.
yeah, I'm just looking at this silly thing on how you roll the saves. 'cause I
Just
don't-
imagine that without all that explanation and question. That looked really cool. I just ran over, I turned into a person, and I threw poison at it.
On the wolf sheet, unless it specifically has a con save, you just click the con word in his stats.
Oh, okay. Well, he fails.
Yay.
So roll damage, or she.
Me roll damage.
You already did. When you click the spell, it's roll the damage. You got a
right.
10,
Oh, okay. What was the damage? I can't see it because I'm looking at a tiny
10
thing.
poison.
10 poison. Okay. Oh.
Yeah, it's right under. It says DC 14 Constitution save, and then it says 10 poison damage. 10.
I'm just
poison
like,
threat.
All right.
ooh, gassy.
Ooh, gassy. I have a belch coming, bop. And the wolf didn't like that very much. Gives it. Or dog,
How much
sorry.
health does it have remaining?
I can't tell you that. It
Oh.
definitely looks wobbly, though. I will tell you that much.
Okay.
All right. So
Kick it, Jilly.
it's back to Jilly. Yeah. Your turn.
All right. I'm gonna use my rapier on it.
Oh. Okay.
Oh,
John, you were serious about that Kingsman thing, huh? About killing little dogs.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't on purpose.
Can we do
but-
non-lethal damage? Can we do non-lethal damage?
I will just say you are
Well,
lucky
you said
Dimitri
it
is
was
in
so
the house
wobbly.
and not watching this.
Yeah,
I know.
this,
Okay,
dog's literally about to have its
Never mind,
small
I'll
intestine
I'll
all
just
over the
kick it,
floor.
Okay.
No, you
No,
can
no.
do non-lethal damage, right? With the rapier?
Yeah, you can. I think.
Can you like knock it with the blunt end or something?
I
The
mean,
flat of the blade?
I'm just
I mean,
like,
you
stood there
can.
like,
You
"Jilly,
can
slash
always
it."
say. You can always say you're doing non-lethal damage.
Yeah,
although
I was
wouldn't-
gonna try to
wouldn't
do that also, because like,
typically think
Say
a
it
rapier
calmly,
does
so
that.
when it
Dog.
dies, just say, oopsie.
I like how you guys are all like sensitive about a dog. You kill anybody else,
I'm
no
just-
problem.
I'm
But
it's
a
not-
dog.
it's a dog doing its job, okay,
Yeah.
John?
So's
I'm
the
stood
guard.
behind Jilly going, slash it, slash
We
it,
didn't
slash
kill
it.
the guard. He's asleep.
All right, go ahead. Do your
Pull its small
non-lethal.
intestines out, Jilly.
All right.
Well, that hits.
Oh, it did.
It went down. You hit it on the side of the head with the rapier hilt. Like basically, you just walk up and bang right in the side of the head, and this dog just eyes roll up and collapses with a little as it falls over.
Oh.
Are we out of the turn order now?
Yes. Well,
Okay.
are you? Well, I will say
There is
this:
still a
there
sleeping
is
That
a
was,
sleeping
that was
man.
2 rounds only, right? That was only 2 rounds, though.
It's true. But more to the point, there was someone yelling earlier.
A woman.
So lights are going on the second floor.
Can she see us? Because we're stood literally where she was.
I mean, at the
getting out
moment,
window.
she did see something down there, but it was dark, and there isn't a lot of lights in the tree line. So
I'm just gonna turn to Jilly and be like, "You just killed a dog."
I will be clear: that dog is not dead. You can see it.
I'm still like, "You just killed a dog." You should
I
feel
know,
real
I
bad, right? You should feel
know.
real bad about yourself right now.
Wow.
I poisoned the thing, but I'm just like, you should feel real bad about yourself right now.
Wait, hold on.
The
You poison it. It doesn't do
druid
ongoing poison damage,
scummy.
does it, John?
It's,
Oh.
it's an immediate 10 damage, and that's it. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
no,
Okay.
it
Cool.
doesn't.
All right.
It's a cantrip.
I just
they
did
don't
a
do
real
that much.
gassy fat. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're out of the turn order.
Yeah, I guess we'll say you're out of turn order now.
Okay.
I'm gonna head down to the sleepy guy and see if he's still asleep. Then.
I am creeping through this house, trying to find a way
Okay.
upstairs.
All right.
They told us it was on the 3rd floor, right? So I'm trying to find stairs upstairs.
Okay, so give me 1 second. I'm gonna go down to the actual entranceway that you've come through. Ooh, yes, that's gonna be interesting. Okay,
I'm gonna check on the dog.
Do you have a different map for the interior, John?
I do.
Okay, so what you can do is if you open the pages at the top, you can grab my little icon at the bottom of the Roll20 page where we're all lined up and drag it to that map, so it's only me that's going there. 'Cause I'm the only one inside.
Well, I mean, I don't think it matters a great deal.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like,
yeah,
that's how you
in
can do
future.
it for people on
Yeah.
different maps if you have different maps.
Well, no, the map is here on the board, so I've just put them all in the same.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
just go
so that-
below.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah. So if you go below, we're just gonna
Gotcha,
move everybody down so you can all see. You've come into a window. I'm gonna say this one. The door is like back here.
Okay.
I didn't realize there were stairs there, so I'd forgotten. I'm going to grab Jilly, or not Jilly, Bee's character and the other boy.
I haven't gone inside yet.
No, I'm moving you back where you were on the other map.
Right. I was confused because I was in the house then, and I was like, how did I teleport?
John,
Wait, John, can I ask, is the guy still asleep?
At the moment, yes.
Can I just open the front door then and go in?
Just 1 second. Let's get everybody back over to the. Can you all move yourself or?
Yeah, we did. It's just the dog and Jilly.
Jilly. Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll leave the dog there. He doesn't need to be moved because he's not going anywhere.
He did.
He's not dead. Don't say that. Don't be mean. All right. So
Everyone's so sensitive about this dog.
Dimitri. Well, let me
He's
tell
trying
you.
to bite your leg off, but whatever.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware. All right, Dimitri. So you've come into a room which has barrels and boxes, and it looks like sort of a pantry area where, like, they would have been loading stuff in for like kitchens and things, or for supplies for the house.
I'm
So-
going to slowly creep over to the door
Okay.
and look out. Do you want me to roll stealth?
1 second. I need to move to the other map because nobody's seeing this on screen. So 1 second.
All I'm thinking right now is that dining room must stink. Look how close it is to that like back thing.
True.
Right.
Everyone just sat. Look, there's even a dead animal on it. Look, on the table inside. They're like putting up a dead goat in there.
You're saying like there's no doors or anything. Also medieval period. So
The smell of dead goat just wafting through into your dining room while you're sat eating your Cheerios and you can just smell dead goat coming through.
High class.
You're very.
Beautiful.
I mean, you have a very strange
And
idea of how
where the
things work.
weirdos.
All right.
Where the weirdos.
Yeah, you are the weirdos. All right. So anyway, you have come into this area. You're trying to move into that hallway. You can do that. I probably should have blocked this all out, but I just didn't want to be bothered. So we're gonna pretend like you can't see where these stairs are, although there is 2 sets of stairs involved. So up to you where you want to go now, Dimitri, and then we'll take the other turn.
Okay. Well, I mean, I just came here because this was the closest door to the window, and obviously the stairs are not in here.
No. Fair enough.
So he would look out and see if there's anyone in the hallway.
At the moment, you don't see anybody. There's no lights on. There's no torches or anything on in this area of the house.
Yay. That's a problem because I don't have night vision.
That's true.
Just feel around.
You were the worst rogue ever, man. Come on.
I'm not a rogue. God damn it.
The bard who is rogue. He went rogue.
Okay, I'm gonna use prestidigitation to keep making a tiny spark to light up my way as I walk. That's a cantrip, so I can just keep casting it over and over. So I'm like making a tiny little firework to pop and show me where I'm going.
Okay.
And then
Someone just looking down the stairs and just seeing
here.
flashing.
I would probably cross
Flickers.
the hall. From here, could I see the stairs?
Not really. No, you have no concept of where anything is right now.
All right,
Because
I
you're
go
like,
up
think of when you're in your
even
own house and it's dark out in the house and there's like no moonlit anything. You're just guessing as to the directions because you're
Except you know your own house. I should hope.
exactly. That's the difference.
Okay, so I'll go down to this doorway.
Okay. All right. So
Did
before you
just
do,
flip a coin?
effectively, that's exactly what you did. All right.
Yeah,
So
I said odds I'd go up, evens I'd go down. So.
yeah.
John, do I know he's inside?
If I got to choose, obviously I'd go up because I know where the stairs are out
Well-
of game, so that's why I rolled for it.
To be fair, Bart would have seen that. But before we get into any further with this, we're going to take a little break.
I'm so into the story right now. I hate the break.
If you'd like to subscribe to our channel, please do so here. If you'd like to see what we've done in the past, please check it out up here. And if you'd like to check out all of our content, you can do so at distractionsmedia.com.